Monday to everyone. Thank you for joining us on the stream for another GLC versus stream. Joined as always by my co-host Wheatr. Wheatr, say hello.
What's going on? How's it
Uh,
going, Mr. Baisch?
oh, it is going well. Thank you for asking. Really excited about today's stream. One of my favorite decks. I don't know how competitive this archetype is, but it's definitely a fun deck to play. It definitely has the nuance to it that I enjoy in GLC decks. And we'll talk a little bit about our decks going forward. You can see kind of mine's spread out on the screen here, and then Wheatr has the three matchups that we'll be playing against, which I'm also really excited to see. That fire deck, which I know a lot of people are excited to see, because that is now the number one most popular deck on the Cardboard Warriors deck builder site, Wheatr. So congratulations on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
let's go.
it was sad to see my Meganium deck list get knocked off, but you know what? I'm excited about your deck, so you know what? Definitely worthy of the spot. Um, Anyway, let's get into, I guess, a couple of housekeeping things. First off, awesome article written by Phoenix today about overrated, underrated cards. I'm going to go ahead and shoot that article in the chat for you guys. Exclamation point what's it called? Exclamation point CBW is going to get you the latest Cardboard Warriors article. That's a new little thing I added. I'll go ahead and post that up there. The article is awesome, and the thing I liked the most about it was it got posted, and immediately, 20 posts were just like, "Wow, I agree. No, I disagree. Wow, this is bad. This is great," and it just got people talking about overrated and underrated cards, which can kind of digress into a whole bunch of like, this is dumb, this is stupid stuff, but it was actually kind of an enlightening conversation in both discords, the TG Discord and the CBW Discord. So with that being said, with the article out, we have to talk about our overrated and underrated cards, and those of you in chat, tell us your overrated and underrated cards too. I'd love to hear about them. I know people have been already talking about them in the Discords. Shout them out again. But Wheatr, start us off. Let's start underrated first. What do you think is an underrated card in GLC that doesn't see enough play, or that maybe people undervalue?
Well, I'll leave things. There was an underrated article on the website, so I'll leave those cards off. But I think probably something I've learned lately is that Bicycle is almost universally good. Bicycle, and you asked me this before, so I was thinking about what the one I would pick is. It's hard for me to decide between that and Delinquent.
Yeah.
Delinquent is very underused, but can win games by itself. And Bicycle is almost always a great card.
Yeah, as a fighting player without any draw support, getting delinquented out of a game is something that I know all too well. So I definitely see that card being underrated, especially against archetypes that lack draw power. And then Bicycle, I feel like Bicycle is always like that 61st or 62nd card that I want to play. I need to just put it in more decks and try it out. So I agree with you there. I would love to see those two cards see more play universally. For me, I think it's got to be bench barrier. Again, we talked about this in our pre-stream chat. Not enough people play bench barrier Pokemon, especially in the types that have some of the best ones, whether it's bench barrier Mew or whether it's Manaphy in the water decks. It's just so good. It shuts off an entire archetype. And then Psychic Mew is just like, the bench barrier Mew is just already so good. 1 energy, 3 damage counters. It's a pretty decent pivot. And then if you don't need it, you can just discard it. Those decks have so many discard outlets. You can just get rid of it and draw into more important cards. So just play bench barrier, guys. I don't know how many times I have to say it. Play your bench barrier Pokemon, please. They're so good.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. And again, those of you in chat, tell us your overrated and underrated cards. That's our underrated cards. Overrated, Wheatr. What do you got?
Uh, I'm really with the article. I think Wobbuffet is definitely the most overrated. Based on Andrew Mahone's comments about how it's higher on his ban list than Archeops, I think that's crazy. Um, since it only hits like a few types really hard. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. I don't really have anything unique there. I'm with Phoenix on that one for sure.
Yeah, Boba Fett is definitely it's a good card. Don't get me wrong in the sense of the word, but it's really good against grass. It's really good against water. Those are two kind of turbo ability decks when you think about them. They want to get their main ability Pokemon in play, doing its thing, rain dancing energy onto things, and if you can stop that, you kind of stop the deck. So they're going to have issues with Wobbuffet, and those are two of the more popular decks. So if you're constantly playing against those cards and you're playing those decks, I get why you're upset with it, but I'm with you. I do think that Wobbuffet is overrated. Has it single-handedly won me games before? Yes, 100%. But on the flip side, gust around it, play Hitmon Bros. You don't need any abilities in that deck. Um, you know, just get rid of it. For me, this is one I don't know what it is about this card, but it's Cynthia Caitlin. I am not a big fan of that card in particular. You know, discard a card, get back a supporter, draw three cards. It's like it feels like it's doing a lot while simultaneously not doing a lot. Like you're getting back a supporter that you might need, giving your opponent information about what your potential next turn looks like, allowing them to play a card to get that card out of your hand. Of course, it's back in your deck now, which is great. But just like with cards like Lusamine or cards like Palpad, you get to play your supporter for turn still. Lusamine, you can get a stadium back and play it instantly. Like those cards just feel so much better. I get why people want to play Cynthia and Caitlin because you have Tag Call, so that's kind of like a free consistency card in your deck. But Cynthia Caitlin just it's never really felt great for me to play it, and so many people play it in their decks, and I'm just like, I'd rather it be something else. Just would.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Cool. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
it's really good in just a few decks. I like Dragon. It's great in Dragon because you're already playing Tag Call. You need Raihan recovery, but I don't know another deck I can even think of where it's great in.
Yeah, I don't.
Which
So, on that note, now that you brought that up, I can see it being good in Dragon, but Dragon also plays Palpad and Lusamine, if I'm not mistaken, because you do want the supporters back in your deck. And
that's
then
right.
on top of that, the other deck that's similar is the Psychic deck that plays, Buddy Catch Gallade, but that deck doesn't even play Cynthia and Caitlyn. So, you know,
True.
so
Good point.
yeah. So anyway, just weird. Just my personal thought. The card might be good. Don't get me wrong. It's just a card that I see, and it's just in way too many decks that I don't think it should be in. Um, got a couple of good stuff in the chat too. Lost City pick for underrated card. What are your thoughts on Lost City there, Weeder?
Oh, Lost City, definitely an underrated card. That single-handedly wins some matchups, like stall against stall decks, against decks that recycle a single attacker or maybe two attackers. It's definitely a really good card. I'm all on board with that.
Yeah. Yeah, Lost City I think is a great card, but I think it's the same debate that we just had about Cynthia Caitlin. It's so great in so few decks because Lost City, so much of GLC is you have your threats and you want to recur those threats, and if you're playing Lost City, you also don't get to recur your threats. So it belongs in certain decks. It does win matchups, like you said, but it's just so hard. Like a grass deck could never play Lost City. Hitmon Bros never wants to play Lost City. I'm surprised that Phoenix has made Lost City work in Turbo Dark with the recursion that you want with some of those small Pokemon, but he's done it. So maybe it should see more play, and maybe I'm underrating it right now with my comments. Um, Other ones, Sarmakis has mentioned, Cynthia Caitlin can be clutch, but sometimes you just draw three for nothing, which I've had to do on stream here. The old pull out that rule book. Can you do this? The discard a card, draw three cards without a supporter thing, which you can do. That's I'd just rather be Bird Keeper. Just give me a Bird Keeper. I'd rather have Bird Keeper than Cynthia and Caitlin. Um, all right, that's our overrated, underrated spiel. Any big news, Weeder, in the GLC community that we need to know about that I'm missing out on?
Oh yeah, there is. I can't remember what day it was. Maybe it was 2 days ago, 1 day ago. A new card coming out in the next major set. I believe that's in November. November 3rd,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is the release date. Is the gorgeous mantle or the luxurious cape or whatever the name ended up being.
Hmm.
But it's a tool that gives the Pokemon it's attached to 100 HP extra, and at the cost of giving up two prizes when it's knocked out.
That's
And that caused a firestorm of conversation in the discords when it was revealed. So definitely going to shake things up. There's another card. These two cards, I think, are both really well designed and really interesting and have a lot of different applications. That card, and then there is a TM. They're releasing a TM tools. They give your Pokemon another attack, and there's one called Sneak Attack, I think. It does 100 damage to any Pokemon for three colorless.
okay.
So another interesting option.
Yeah. Sneak attack. So the gorgeous mantle is the one I saw people discussing, but I haven't actually seen the card. So again, 100 more HP, but you can take an extra prize, which seems pretty fair. And in all
Yep.
honesty, it's kind of bringing, I guess, like that V Star EX feel to the game, which maybe isn't something that I'm super excited about. One of the things I like about GLC is, you do have to go through hoops for double prize Pokemon, and we'll talk about my Crobat here in a second. But, just adding 100 HP to one of our basic boys here is just going to feel kind of VMAXy, and, you know, we'll see. I could be wrong. It could be a very enjoyable play pattern. Let's see. I think people were talking about just like imagine like a Guzzlord with that thing on it, like Guzzlord's taken four prizes to your two prizes potentially. Does seem pretty good. And people are
I think
already
the
complaining.
best I think the best usage of it, I do think it's mostly balanced, except for in decks that are really good at. I think it makes tanky decks really good because if part of their game plan is already healing, and the trouble they have is sometimes getting one shot, well, this makes that nearly impossible.
Hmm.
So if you're then going to heal anyways, I think that's super strong. And then like just the steamroll Guzzlord might be strong. Or someone mentioned Cassie. Is it Cassius the other day where you pick up the active Pokemon and shuffle it and all cards attached to it into the deck. So you put it on like Snorlax, take a shot, put all your energy back into the deck, Archeops it all back out, and you've given up no prizes and taken a prize, and then you can do it all over again. So it's I
Yeah.
don't know. It might end up being broken in certain cases.
Yeah, that sounds busted. If to be honest, hearing you say it, obviously, this seems ridiculous. Obviously, a lot has to be going on that battlefield for that to happen. But man, still sounds busted. Yeah, I'm kind of so the one you mentioned too, the sneak attack card that you mentioned, I'm really excited about. And someone said, I think a Pokemon does have to have a damage counter on it for sneak attack to work, if I'm not mistaken. I saw that and immediately I was like, this is gonna be so good in Hitmon Bros. Just like as like another like ability to like snipe the bench later on in the game because you're already running like a couple of stage ones and stage twos that aren't necessarily going to be like taking prizes right away. So I'm really excited about it in that deck. I'm excited about it in the jump pluff grass spread deck, just putting it on a jump
Oh
bluff
yeah.
and just being like 100. Oh, your bench is gone, buddy. Seems really good. And I think got me thinking. I think the Hitmonchan decks. Back to that. Sorry, this is my brain only thinks about Hitmon Bros and Grass Spread. Like those are the only two things. The Metacham that can attack twice is
Yes. Yeah.
just gonna be bonkers and Hitmon Bros now. So I am really excited about that. That comes out in November. We might be playing these decks on the stream in like next week. Just that's how excited I am about those two decks getting that. So awesome, good stuff. All right, um, let's get into the gameplay. Let's talk some decks. So I'm gonna play Dark Poison today. Really excited about Special Condition deck. Wheatr, what's your first deck? What do you got up first?
Why don't I have? It's hard for me to pick. Why don't you maybe roll a dice or something? Well,
Yeah,
one, two, three.
you know what? I think people want to see the fire deck, so I don't even think I have to
Fire deck.
roll.
All
I
right.
think people just want to see the
I get
fire
that.
deck. Again, that's what I want to see. Most of our viewers tune in at the beginning. Let's see the fire deck.
All right.
Cool. So let me pull
So,
up Dark Deck on screen and we'll talk about Fire Deck next. All right, here we go. Dark Poison. So again, we just talked about Guzzlord a little bit. This is kind of the baby brother of that deck. It's the dark deck that's not quite as good. We've got special condition enablers in our deck. Basically, poison is our game plan. Galarian Wheezing is the key to everything we're doing. We got to get him up and active, spreading poison damage while slowing down our opponent, and that's basically our game plan. Can we use Galarian Wheezing early and effectively? Then we have ways to recur him. We're playing the Zoroark that has the Phantom Transformation ability, which lets us just swap it with a stage 1 in our discard pile to recur Galarian Wheezing. And then we have Toxicroak here to help us kind of stack our poison stackers. It gives us 2 more, and we're also playing Verbank Gym, which is a stadium that does a similar thing. It's down here in the way. We got some other poison enablers in here from newer sets. We got Seviper, which is pretty good. It has a Spit Poison ability and a Venoshock ability, which lets us do more damage if the active is poisoned. And then we're trying out the new Clodsire. Again, I say that with a question mark because I'm not really too sure about how good it is. It poisons both actives, and then our Venoshock ability does 200 here. So we're going to try it out. It's basically Seviper, but we can use reversal energy with it. Now, all of this is fine and dandy, but how do we close out games? First off, if we poison our opponent's Pokemon and they die, they can't Raihan, they can't teammates because they die during checkup and not their opponent's turn, which is actually kind of a big deal in the poison decks. That's what we're looking to do. And then our closer here is Crobat. It's the Silver Tempest Crobat, I believe is the set it came out in. For 1 energy, 50, and poison, which is actually a pretty good rate considering our Golbat draws us some cards. And then Critical Bite is 30 to any Pokemon. And if it happens to knock out the Pokemon, we get 2 more prizes. So we're hoping to kind of back our opponent into a corner, spreading poison damage, making them retreat, putting a weak Pokemon on their bench, and then Crobat them using triple acceleration energy, which we have down here, or reversal energy. Besides that, we're kind of a bad control deck. We're a control deck that tries to take prizes, which is the worst way to play control, but it's what we're doing today. So that's the deck. That's the dark deck. A deck I am excited to play. All right, Wheatr, talk to us about Extreme Speed Fire.
all right. Extreme Speed is an attack that Arcanine learns in the main series games, and I thought it was aptly named because I wanted to build a fast fire deck, and I thought the general game plan would be to Pokestop early when possible and hopefully put some energy in the discard pile so you could get it back into play with Arcanine. It's also the deck is very good at um, turn one Volcanion. So fire with turn one Volcanion is incredibly strong, and the real core of this deck is actually going to be the Entei. So the new Entei does it's got Zarude's attack basically, so it pairs very well with Charizard doing 180 damage with 3 energy, and it's super easy to get 3 energy on it, so it hits big numbers. It also protects your bench by reducing the damage of your opponent's attacks by 20, and that applies to your bench as well. So that's very strong against spread decks. And it's been a fun way to play fire. I'm using an item engine, and I think that makes it pretty consistent. So I'm excited about it. It's one of my favorite decks to play.
Cool. I'm excited about this too. Again, I'm still on the prowl for a fire deck that is enjoyable to play. That's I thought that the other deck, the fire spread, which ended up being more of like a fire snipe deck, might be up my alley. It wasn't quite that, but this one's good. I'm excited for this. That Entei was really the star of our last stream. that Entei just sat there and sat there, took prize after prize, reducing damage. Entei's good.
It is good, and I think I've added Wishful Baton into the deck to conserve energy on the board, and then hopefully pass it right back to another Hydro Pump attacker in Delphox. So lots of synergy in the deck. It's got Heat More to close games out with exciting flames. Yeah, lots of fun to play.
Awesome. Trying to think. Yeah, Volcanion. First turn Volcanion. You said the deck is pretty consistent about that. I don't think I've ever seen a fire deck lose off after first turn Volcanion. So, do you have? I don't. You're the stats guy. Do you have any statistics about first turn Volcanion and the win rate?
I don't. We don't have any stats on like gameplay because we just get the win loss rates. So it would be so cool if PTCGO or PTCGL ever had game logs where you could figure that sort of stuff out, but fortunately they don't.
Cool. Until then, we'll make them up on stream. 100% win rate for first turn Volcanion. Heard it here
I'm
first.
with you on that one.
All right, we always forget to roll. I'm going to remember this
Always.
time. Heads or tails?
Heads.
All right. It is a 1. But I'm going to
Okay.
re-roll because I didn't trust that. It went off stream. It is still a 1. It's tails. All
Ball
right.
never lies.
The ball never lies. We like to keep it good and honest around here. We're playing for so much. You guys don't know this at
Seems
home, but
so.
Wheatr and I play every game for $1,000.
I would be poor if we did that.
You win so much, and I win so little.
Wait, did you decide? Are you first or second? I missed it if you
I'm going
said
to
it.
go second 100%. We want that first turn wheezing, but we are going to miss it here, and we're going to take a mulligan.
Mulligan. Okay.
That's the
I
stat
actually
that we need. First turn Baisch mulligans.
That's pretty common on stream.
It has been.
This deck, even though it's an item deck, and a lot of the item decks like to go first, definitely like to go second in this one. So I wish I had won the roll.
Oh, good. We're glad you didn't. The thing is, it's like, you think wheezing would shut down some abilities, but your deck, just like Volcanion, doesn't matter. It's not an ability, it's an attack. So like you can kind of get up and going around my wheezing, which is a little bit sad for me. I guess we get to stop Charizard in the late game, but yeah, that's about it. All right, back to it.
Oh boy, here we go. It does, no, Weezing is pretty good because you can't Cargo, you can't Delphox. So it's definitely good to allow Dark to get set up. And Delphox, McCargo is really important for getting accurate plays. So
Yeah. Now, this deck doesn't see a lot of play. The deck that I'm playing right now, the Poison Dark deck, and I think it's just mainly due to the fact that when you're playing Dark, you're typically playing it because you're a very skilled player, which we've seen a lot of Dark champions on the CBW website, or you're playing it as kind of like a I'm going to counter Psychic deck specifically because they're super popular. This deck, because we're using Poison, doesn't get the same type advantages that a lot of the other Dark decks do against Psychic. And that's one of the things, I think, one of the reasons why people don't play it so much is you lose that type favor.
yeah, that's for sure. They're playing Crobat though, so Crobat with weakness is super strong.
Right? Oh gosh. All right, let's keep going. Draw them cards.
We'll be here all night.
It's all right. After 8, we just keep flipping till I find a basic. Right? I think that's the rule. Everyone who watches this stream is going to know that rule because I mulligan so frequently.
I need these mulligans. My hand is terrible, so I'll be quite lucky to have the extra cards.
Yeah. I need Pokemon to fix their mulligan roll. I need them to be like, your hand's bad, you can choose to give your opponent an extra card. Like we should have a mulligan choice.
I
Imagine.
do think having one free mulligan every game would be great. I
All
think
right,
that would be a good rule.
we got a basic.
All right. I will draw my three.
Now I'm kind of wishing we had gone first.
What can that mean? What can that mean?
All right, let's get to it. We got
Okay, I've
Purloin.
got Charmander start. Draw for turn. Okay, somehow got a terrible hand still. Not terrible, but not the best. I'll start with Acrobike. And I will opt to discard a fire energy. Being fire in the discard is actually really nice. Then I will go with a level ball. See what's in the deck. My Entei, my Baton, Cargo, Charizard's there. That's a good start. I can't. Oh, I prized my Growlithe. That's what I wanted to grab. So
Oh no.
let's see. I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with an Entei start. So here comes an Entei.
Can you grab Entei with level ball?
I cannot. That's a good point. So
That's supposed to be like
thinking about
90
what's
HP.
in my hand, I
Seems good.
guess. I'll start with Slugma. My level ball of choice. Going to Professor's Letter as well. Grab one, two fire energies. Then I will Ultra Ball away. It's actually a tough choice. I'm gonna Ultra Ball away Tate and Liza, and not Tate and Liza. I don't want to just get rid of that. Oh, this is rough. Sorry. I guess Arcanine since Ralph is prized, as well as Rescue Stretcher. And I will grab that Entei, because it's going to be important against the Wheezing that I might end up seeing. I will attach for turn to Entei, and I'll also attach a Muscle Band so I can one-shot the Wheezing in case it arrives, and Peskew.
All right. Alright, that's not too bad. I wish there was a way for us to check our deck to see if that card is worth playing. We aren't really going to have a full bench ever, though, so I don't think that keeping basics in our hand, even if we don't check our deck, is necessarily a bad thing. So I do want to play this Quillfish. Um, you've got, looks like 3 cards in hand over there, which is
I have
slightly...
got 5.
5 cards. Okay, all right. We have we have red card, which is why I said, oh hey, I bet it'd be great if we had gone first there. I also have Marnie here in hand to pair that with Tropical Beach. Now we do have the Leopard in our hand, and there is some part of me wants to keep this to play it, but I think we need to progress and draw different cards because this is just not great. And we also don't want Wheezing in our hand. We would prefer it in our deck, I think, at this point in time. So let's play out this Tropical Beach because I imagine that that might be the end of this turn for us. And then let's go ahead and just Marnie here. We'll preserve the red card for later. It might matter later on. Put those on the bottom. Draw some new cards. This is a very real Tropical Beach for everyone at home. Very real. Made with the finest printings. Alright. Okay. We got Level Ball here. And so Level Ball is going to get us this Coughing if he's in our deck. Let's check our deck. There's Viper, Croagunk. There's our Coughing. We know that's what we're grabbing because our Wheezing is in the deck. Zerwark, Crobat. Ooh. Judge. That shouldn't be in my deck. The wrong Whooper. Zubat, Toxicroak. Here's the real Whooper. We had a tough time picking between two Whoopers. There's one that lets you get a stadium. There's one that poisons. I ended up going with the stadium one, just because Verbank is pretty important. Plus, Parallel City can be important at times. So, just good to have. All right, I think most of the gang is here. Leopard, Wheezing, Croagunk. Did I see Toxicroak? I think that's the one I need to double check. Toxicroak. Alright, cool. We got the gang. So there's our coughing. Coughing is out. Unfortunately, no real way to use our coughing at the moment. At least to get it into the active spot and attach an energy. I don't want to attach an energy with what I have in hand. So I think we just Tropical Beach, and we're going to draw 3 cards here and end our turn.
All right. I will draw for turn. And start with an order pad. That is a 6.
Ooh.
All right, you'll have to see it.
Order pad is any card, or is it an item card? I can't remember for whatever reason.
It is an item card.
Okay.
So, an item that seems interesting to me is Evo Incense, so I can go straight to grab it. Actually, Heavy Ball might be nicer since it's more specific. Having my cargo to draw directly into what I want for next turn sounds pretty nice. You might turn off my abilities though, which would be bad. So
you can still put it on top this turn and then draw it.
I will go with the I'll go with the Evo Incense. Play it, grab my cargo. Where'd it go? There it is. And evolve my Slugma. I might be going back in the deck, we'll see. I'll go with a Stadium Nav. Get myself some energy, hopefully. It's a 1 heads, 1 tails. So I could go either... Well, I've got Pokestop, Giant Hearth, and it looks like I prized the other one, Magma Basin. So we'll go with Giant Hearth.
Well, now my very real Tropical Beach is getting discarded.
Although, it might be nice to hold off a turn and draw, honestly. So I'm gonna... I could draw a lot. It seems kind of nice. You're having a slow start, so I think that's gonna be a fine play. I'm actually gonna quick ball away Lucamine, which might seem a bit silly, but I'm gonna try that, and then grab my Fennekin if it's in here. Fennekin, and then I will also put Volcanion on the bench, and then I've got 1 card left in hand. I'm gonna end my turn with Tropical Beach for 6.
Okay. Not too shabby of a turn. Tropical Beach, always the double-sided, double-edged sword here, letting your opponent draw. When they're playing an item-based build, their hands are going to get real low. And it turns out they can draw lots of cards with that. Alright, let's see what we got. We have a pretty decent hand. I don't know if that card's any good or not here. It would have been better as Guzma. So we got a couple of things. We got like reversal and triple acceleration energy in our hand, which are not the energies you want to see at this point in the game. Then we have Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, and we have Parallel City here as a follow-up. We know that he has a stadium in hand, so we don't want to play it out now. We would just be discarding one of his Pokemon. I think it's better to save it for the follow-up for the next turn. But we can get into Wheezing here with Evolution Incense. I'm not sure how good Wheezing is at this point in time, especially without any energy. It might be better just to go and get Overquill, so we can actually start putting poison counters on things, which I think might be the route that we go here. Over Galarian Wheezing, just because I don't know. Macargo is pretty good. Macargo is something to shut off. So I do think we go Galarian Weasling here. We can Ultra Ball if we need to get Quillfish as well. We just don't need to right now. Alright, let's Quick Ball. I do think we are going to ditch... Oh, you know what we should do? We should probably go get Leopard, now that I think about it. Our hand's just kind of awkward with everything I want to do, because I don't want to discard too much, because Reversal and Triple Acceleration are so key to our late game. And then Crobat and Perilous City also important, although we do have ways to recover them. This is tough. I guess we could always just put Galarian Weezing up and draw on the more cards. Okay. So I think that's going to be our game plan. So let's Reversal onto Purloin. Triple Acceleration Energy won't work. Let's go ahead and retreat. Let's hold off on the retreat until we do some other stuff. Alright, Ultra Ball. Let's get rid of Crobat and Boss's Order. Let's go get Leopard. Which we're mostly going to want for later on in the game, I think, just to help us draw cards. We know we're probably losing this Tropical Beach, so probably good to get one last use out of it here. And then I think we should probably go ahead and start setting up. So let's Quick Ball away. Probably going to regret it, but Parallel City. I think we need the Triple Acceleration Energy here. And let's go and get... We got Lusamine in our deck, so not too worried about that. Let's go ahead and get Zubat. If we find Golbat, we get to draw more cards. Alright, let's burn Reversal Energy. Let's put Galarian Weezing up. You know, the way this deck is built now, we might actually enjoy a special charge. Who knows? Alright, and then we're just going to Tropical Beach for 6 to end our turn.
Alright. I will draw for turn.
4, 5, 6.
Oh, now
7.
that was a great draw. I don't have Macargo though, so that's a little bit unfortunate. I'm short. Actually, I can see what I draw. I will be able to knock out the Weezing this turn, so I've got Welder and 2 energies in hand. So I will Welder. I would like to smooth over and choose what I got next, but that's okay, I'm under ability lock. So Welder 2 on, draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And I've got a really nice hand. I'll show it to the stream. I'm going to play Soothing Heavy Ball. Get that Growlithe that I've been missing. I've actually got a lot of really important prize cards. That's crazy.
Yeah, Raihan,
so I could take
Magma Basin.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of valuable cards. So I did discard the Arcanine, but I don't see Heatmore being the play just yet. Because of energy conservation. I only get one choice though, and Heatmore is the better card. So I will go with Heatmore. It is kind of a win condition sometimes, so I will take that one. Unfortunate. Alright. So next play, I'm going to Trainer's Mail and see if I can reach for the Rare Candy. I did not get it, but I got another nice card. Probably just take Wishful Baton in case you lower the Muscle Band. Shuffle up.
We would love to find
Actually,
Field Blower here.
I'm not going to need to shuffle because I'm going to play Giant Hearth. And I will discard a Nest Ball. Searching for 2 fire energies. And Rare Candy is in the deck, so... At this point, I could... No, I can't opt to for Pokestop. I just play Hearth. So, this energy will let my Charmander retreat, which is nice. So I will attach to Charmander. And then I will evolve Fennekin to Brayson. And I don't... Ooh. I did see you discard... Paralocity. So I think for now I will play Heatmore. And then I'll retreat the Charmander into Entei. And I will... Whatever that attack is for 140 damage.
Alright, Weezing's down. We will promote Free Retreat Zubat. Which again, people in chat, you might have to help me out. Wheatr and I were talking about this earlier. Zubat, Golbat, and Crobat are all flying type Pokemon that's weakness is fighting. I need you guys to help me. Is there another flying type Pokemon who has weakness as fighting? I do not understand it. Alright, draw for turn here. Alright. Not the best, not the worst. So we do have Avery here, which is very tempting with your full bench. I also have Guzma. We don't have an evolution Pokemon. I would love to get Quillfish now, and we do have Arven here, which would let us set some things up. So I feel like we're going to start with a trade by our Leopard here. Hisuian Heavy Ball, no basics in our prizes, to my understanding from our last check. So let's draw 2 here. Alright, not the best, not the worst, as always. If we Avery, we get to draw 3 more cards, but we might end up losing something that's important here. We got Zorua, we got Croagunk. Let's play those down. We're kind of in a tough spot, to be honest. And Arven does let us grab Overquill and kind of stall for a turn, but it also lets you kind of get set up where Avery kind of makes you make a tough choice, although I'm pretty sure it's just Heatmore or Volcanion that get the loss here, which might be fine, but it doesn't really set you back any way than it would if I waited a turn to play it. What is Overquill's HP? I forget what it is. Something reasonable.
130?
130? Okay. Then it might be worth it to get Pot Helmet, if it's in our deck, and just start spreading some of that Poison Love. So yeah, I think that's the best balance. So let's Arven here.
That's 130.
It's 130. So that means we have to get a way to get it, which I don't know if I have a way to get it. I have Timer Ball. So hopefully we don't flip Double Tails on Timer Ball. One of the most overrated cards, Timer Ball right here, according to Phoenix. Great article. Alright, let's Timer Ball. That is a 5. That is a 2. We did it.
Phoenix, what were you thinking?
Yeah, it's so good. It's busted. Alright, quick Pot Helmet to my Overquill. Free Retreat my Zubat here. Let's play Verbank. Let's get them poison really stacked up. And then let's go ahead and Tormenting Poison, which will be 7 damage counters on checkup.
Alright. You know, Poison is actually really good against this deck as well because Baton doesn't benefit from counters or effects. So I'll draw for turn. That is a nice draw, I think. Yeah, I like that draw. I will start the turn by. I can't actually draw. No, I can. Okay, I will first smooth over
Okay.
my rare candy to the top.
Ooh. Just a heads up, your giant hearth is bumped from our Verbank.
It's bumped. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I know that we're bad at
Yes.
stadiums as a collective crew. Um,
I'm very bad at them, so appreciate it.
they're so difficult on webcam.
It's just not in your line of sight. Like, it's not where you're normally looking. Anyways, so now I can play down my Pokestop, and I know I'm going to get the rare candy. But Pokestop at this stage is a bit risky. Um, I do think I'm going to do it. It would be nice to get Charizard out this turn. So rare candy, Cram, and Charmeleon. Wow, perfect run out there.
All right.
Take that. And then I haven't played a supporter for turn. I will go ahead and rare candy Charmander into Charizard. Then I will attach an energy to Braixen because I would like to play Escape Rope.
All right. This is tough. I think we're gonna end up losing this Zubat just because it's not super useful at the moment. Zorua always gives us a chance to get back. Was it always gives us a chance to get back our Golbat in the future if we need to. So let's sacrifice Zubat here. I think we discarded Crobat anyway. Yeah. So we will promote
Interesting.
40 HP Zubat.
Okay. All right. I will send up Braixen, then Hard Retreat back into Entei, and I will Blacksmith my. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna Cram-O-Matic away Heavy Ball. Hope for heads. Nope, no heads. That's a 3. So my hand at this point is kind of stinky. But I will go ahead and Blacksmith 2 energy onto Wheatr. Get prepared for the big attack. And then I will attack active for 180.
All right, Zubat is dead. Let's go ahead and promote. I think we'll promote Overquill again. Let's draw. All right, a couple different things we can do. I think we need to kill this Entei, and we can also get rid of the Pokestop. Your hand isn't great, from my understanding, and it's small. Macargo is going to smooth over. You smoothed over last turn and drew into it already, right?
Correct.
Okay. So let's go ahead and lose some mean here. Let's grab Verbank, and then let's grab Parallel City. Let's play Verbank. Bumping Pokestop. I don't think between Parallel City and Avery, it's probably better to have Parallel City. On all honesty, although let's see, I think we bumped all Magma Basin. We know is prized because you showed it to us, and then Pokestop and Giant Hearth are gone. So I think it's actually okay to go ahead and just trade that away for 2. Anyway, there's Survivor. Survivor's not great, but not terrible. Would have loved to have grabbed like Zoroark or something. But let's play Survivor down. It might come in handy at some point. And then let's go ahead and Tormenting Poison, and then we will pass the turn and take a prize.
All right. So I have to decide what to promote here. I might be. You're doing 7 damage counters per turn. So if I don't find a way to get an energy, it might be in a bad spot. It might seem weird, but I don't see a way on your board to knock out Heatmore after I promote it. So I'm gonna send up the Heatmore
Yeah.
and draw for turn. Oh, what a good, that's a fancy top deck. I'll attach Wishful Baton and then Research Way Raihan.
Okay.
That saved me for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, research a good top deck there.
Good top deck, but actually didn't hit any playable or many playable cards. I'll play Town Map. To play VIP Pass, I will play Palpad. I'd like to put Blacksmith back in my deck for sure.
Mhm.
And I don't see Welder actually being useful, but I do think I potentially want Lucamine. I'll put that back. I haven't seen a Field Blower yet, but I can actually draw I can draw a card if I play down my Floatstone. So I'm really digging for an energy. I've got 3 in play, or 2 in play, 1 in the prizes. I've got 9 energy, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I've got 2 in deck, kind of low odds to hit, but might be worth it. I'm gonna bicycle for 1 card. I need to shuffle first. I'm getting low on cards in my deck, honestly.
That's what
Got
we're banking
maybe
on.
10.
We're the control deck. Remember that. We're the control deck here. So I'm about to play some Misfortune Sister. I'm trying to think what other card would be great at this point.
Team Rocket's Handiwork would be great.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, it would.
That wasn't it. So all I can do at this point is Flame Cloak to do 0 damage and attach an energy to Heatmore.
All right. All right. Draw for turn. All right. So, Floatstone's on the Macargo. I have access to Guzma, and I have access to Boss's Order. So we can always boss up like Charizard or Braxton or something. We still have Leopard here with its trade ability, so I do think I want to trade some stuff away to start. So we're going to start with a Gladion. We're going to trade away Gladion and draw 2 here. I don't think that's kind of a non-card. Timer Ball, Quick Ball, Ultra Ball, Level Ball. Yeah, there is absolutely a 0 point in having a ball guy in my hand. All right then. So next step is maybe we Avery into something that's good here. Make you discard something that kind of matters. Although I think that we're probably better off just bossing up, probably the Charizard and get going. Charizard has 160 HP.
170.
170. Oh, that's 3 turn cycles. We probably need something that we can kill in 2. Boss something with Cargo doesn't do anything without Field Blower. Although we do have access to Arvin here, which means we do have access to Field Blower. Gonna be hard. You have 2 cards in hand? No, you have a
I
whole bunch because you just
have
drew a whole bunch.
4.
Oh, gosh. Why do I play control, guys? Why do I play control? So much thinking. Alright, let's get burned. And all the way. So we're going to VS Seeker 4, Boss's Order. Let's boss up the Braxton, I think. Does Braxton have a retreat cost of what?
It's got 1
Oh, no.
retreat cost.
Cool. Let's go Volcanion then, actually. Because I think we can kill Volcanion in 2 turns.
Yes, you will.
Let's go ahead and attach an energy to Seviper here. Venoshock might come in handy at some point. And then let's go ahead and Tormenting Poison for 7 damage counters during checkup. Pass the turn.
Alright, draw for turn. I've got think I'm not doing a lot this turn. I'm going to smooth over. So put on top of my deck this card. Shuffle up. Down to like maybe 8 cards in deck.
Let's do it. 4 prizes.
That on top. Then I will Guzma up your what has the highest retreat cost?
Viper has 2, and that everyone else has 1.
So Viper can BCE. Probably it'd be nice to force you to play some energy, so I'll go for the Lipard.
Okay.
And then send up the Heatmore. And nothing else to do this turn but all Exciting Flame. And I'll take that knockout. I mean, I think if you're poisoning me next turn, that's going to be kind of good. So I'll go for the Viper, which I think is your one shot. So I'll take that out.
Cool. Viper is down. Alright. Draw for turn. Do you kill the Leopard there too? What's the
I'm doing 90 to Lipard.
Okay, cool. He's still alive. Alright, cool. Draw for turn. Wow, Enhanced Hammer. Absolutely worthless in this matchup. But still might be better than Ball Guy. So we're going to trade away Ball Guy with our Leopard here. Draw 2. Well, there's Paldean Whooper. Still not the card we want to see. So let's. I mean, we're going for the stall play at this point. You have 8 cards in your deck. You know you smoothed over 1. It's probably like exactly what you need. It's probably like VS Seeker for Guzma for another 2 prizes, which is going to be tough for us to deal with. So do we go ahead and take a knockout here? And I just think we're on the stall game plan, which is sad, but I think it's something that we need to do. Conversely, we could Avery here and hope to draw into something good, which I'm not like opposed to. And we could try to take out this Heatmore, which is going to take 2 prizes next turn, potentially. No, it's not going to take 2 prizes, I don't think. It's going to take 2 prizes. So let's Avery. I think that's our way out of it. Let's make you discard a Pokemon, and then we'll draw 3 cards.
Alright, I'll ditch Volcanion.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Alright, not the worst. So we can play Zorwork here. We can attach a Float Stone to Leopard. Wish there was a way to get my Golbat in the bin. Is there anything worthwhile getting currently? It's just the Wheezing. The Wheezing might be worth it to make you not have your Charizard active. Do I have an energy is the problem. So let's Professor's Letter first. Make sure we got the energy in our deck. Ooh, sad. No energy. We're only playing 4, but it looks like there's probably some prized. Okay. So what do we do to force this game to go a little bit longer than it needs to? If your top card is VS Seeker, which I think it is, it's Boss, VS Seeker, it's something like that. What I do, I don't think matters too much, but we still have to play to our outs here. Getting rid of the Heatmore in 2 without you having an energy attached is probably worth it. So let's go ahead and Zorwork and just get Glaring Wheezing. We don't have the energy yet, but it might be useful in the long run. And if you knock it out, might as well knock that one out instead of our Zorwork, right? Let's retreat into Overquill, and then let's just go ahead and do the damage counters. Let's do that
All right.
poison.
All right. Draw for turn. I will bench Ralith. And I do have my abilities, which is kind of nice.
Was your top card VS
Uh,
Seeker? I mean,
it was not, but maybe it should have been.
okay.
I will go ahead and smooth over now.
I played myself. I
Mm.
played myself, chat.
Oh no, you're just giving me good ideas for next turn. So I've got smooth over one card. I went last turn for the blacksmith, so I'm gonna blacksmith so I can get some more energy into play. And I'll put 2 energy onto Growlithe. And I like my abilities, so I think my best option here. I could have gone on Charizard and just gone for the one shot. I don't think that's a good play. I'm gonna Exciting Flames and take out the Wheezing.
All right.
And we'll do 60.
Yep, 60 to Overquill.
And then I am knocked out.
Yep, you're knocked out. We get to take a prize here. We're in Crobat range, guys. We're in Crobat range. All right. Let's draw for turn here.
Ooh, that's a tough one on who to promote. I think I'll promote take the fire energy and promote yes, cargo.
All right. What's Growlithe HP?
90.
90. I'm about to. Arcanine can only take 1 prize per turn, right? I'm not to get double prize out of this game, am I?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So this is going to require skill and tact that I do not have. But you know what? Sometimes you just got to risk it. We're going to nest ball here, thin the deck. I don't think there's anything in here. We're going to nest ball. Let's put down this very fragile Paldean Wooper. And then let's go ahead and Iono.
All right.
Hoping these top 4 cards we can find a Toxicroak. Alright. Well, we got the recovery cards we needed. Alright. Let's Field Blower and let's hit your Floatstone. Let's Super Rod. Let's put Zubat, Crobat, and Seviper back in the deck, although maybe an energy would be better. Yeah, let's do an energy over Seviper at this point. Alright, let's go Tormenting Poison. 7 damage counters on my Cargo.
Okie dokie. Alright, draw for turn. That's not a good card. What's left in my deck? Actually in a weird spot. $70. So my Growlithe has a Fire Claws, which is for 3 energy, hit for 70 damage, which is pretty solid.
Yep.
So, I think in the interest of preserving my cargo and not giving up, not going into 3 prize territory, I will Earthseeker or Kuzma. and it's in here somewhere. But I'll Guzma up, probably Liepard, I suppose.
Yep. Definitely forgot to use Liepard last turn. Maybe could have been costly.
And then I will smooth over. And I'm going to smooth over this card. And I will Fire Claws for 70 and knockout.
Cool. Alright. I think really the only choice we have is to promote Overquill here. And draw. There's our Toxicroak, so that's going to kill this Growlithe. We have a Faba here, but it's not doing anything. So let's go ahead. I think all we can do is Tormenting Poison, put 9 damage counters, take the knockout in the turn, and then probably be game.
Well, I actually don't have it. I don't think I can have it either. Let's see, what are my outs? Nope, I can't actually win this game, or this turn. So I will promote Braixen and draw for turn. Put down Magma Basin to get rid of the Burbank.
Yep.
And then I'll Magma Basin to Charizard. Put 20 push counters on it. And I will play Clara to get back. Definitely want 2 fire energies. But beyond that, I don't know if I want anything else. Maybe Volcanion as a 1 energy attacker is actually decent. So I will... Oh, I did this out of order. I could have actually won this turn. Yeah, I did that out of order. So if I had benched Volcanion, Magma Basin to it, then retreated, that was a win. But in that case, I'll put an energy onto... I'll put the energy onto Volcanion, and then I'll test you.
Alright. So we need to not die here. How do we not die? Ideally, we get rid of Magma Basin, and we do stuff. But I don't know if we can do all of that. We have an in hand, clear our red card Faba. Obviously, we can't Faba and in here. I think that's just the game, though. But we might as well see what we get. Let's in. At least ending our opponent down to 1 gets fire energy out of your hand. I know the Magma Basin's going to put 1 from your discard pile onto your Charizard, though. We've already used our Field Blower. This is kind of empty, but might as well play it out. Alright. Cool. Yep, we will Tormenting Poison for 7 damage counters, and then I think die to your Charizard on the way back. Although I think you have to have a way to retreat as well, so we might still be in.
Somehow drew into 2 fire energy.
Which is what you needed, yep.
Retreat, Magma Basin, KO.
Yeah. Fire deck seems good, dude.
Gee.
Those are fun games. Obviously, you don't know how games are going to play out at the beginning. And so I definitely threw away some resources, Zubat, Crobat, which I think down the road could have helped fix some things in that game. There was no point where your Pokemon were really low on HP, although if I had hit that Macargo, it had 70 damage counters on it, you know, I could have won the game. So just some choices early on in that game, which I think maybe at the time were right. We just never drew into the recovery cards that we needed to get us over that finish line. But you can see, like, we were 3 prizes. We still had chances until probably like the last 2 or 3 turns, as long as we got those recovery cards and got our Zubat and Crobat going. So, sad, but fun game.